Hello, we're still eating grapes and we are about to follow up from the previous video. At the end of the last video we said that our HTML websites have to start with doctype HTML and then they have to have the HTML tag immediately after that, and then right at the bottom it's got to finish, and our entire website exists between HTML start and HTML stop. Now, I just had a fun time looking at yet another one of those questions that I thought was really obvious, but apparently it's actually not obvious at all, which is great in a way because I don't feel silly for not knowing, but is less good because it means that it has a complex answer. Now, it kind of depends a bit. Yes. Kind of depends a bit what the minimum tags are that have to go in between HTML start and HTML stop. Depends a bit, depending on which version of the HTML you're looking at. Because remember, first one was in 1990, and it's changed a couple of times since then. Not by much, just by enough to make it that you have to be very sure to tell the browser exactly what you're doing this time. Now, I said at the start of this series, I want to do HTML5, and in HTML5 there are no mandatory tags at all. Don't have to have any. But you're going to find a lot of slightly older resources, that's fine, which will tell you that every single website has to have a head element and a body element, and they've got to come one after the other. So, got to go head, start, stop, and then body, start, stop. And the idea is that the head contains stuff that people won't see on the screen, kind of information about the website, as it were. So that would be things like the classic tag would be title. When you are on your web browser, in a lot of websites you'll see that there's some information like even above the address bar right at the top, that's from the title tag. So that's what used to be the minimum. And you'd have like some stuff going in here, a whole bunch of stuff, and stuff in here. So the head would have the information about the website, and the body would be where the actual, the main bit, the bulk of the website would live. The bit that you'd actually see on the screen when you visit it using your web browser. It turns out, in HTML5, you don't have to do that anymore. In HTML5, you can just get right on in and do whatever you basically please. Although they do advise you that you should still use a title tag. They just don't need you to put it in something that says head. So if you come across people saying, oh, you've got to have a head tag and you've got to have a body tag, and you're thinking, but Zoe didn't tell me that. That's because it did used to be true, and nothing will break if you still do that, but very technically you don't need to do that anymore.